Hey, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater, and I'm coming to you from a different location today. We're actually in my home studio, and I've got something really cool to show you with the SSL control surfaces. I've been using all three of the control surfaces, the UF8, the UF1, and the UC1 here in my studio, and I absolutely love them. And recently, SSL updated the software. So in addition to making some changes like, for example, there's support built in for Bitwig and for Digital Performer, for example, the big change is that there is now something called 360 Link that allows you to load third-party plugins and control them from the control surfaces. So let's take a look at how this works. We'll begin by looking at a plugin that's already equipped with a factory map from SSL. So some of those would include some of the UAD channel strips, some of the Waves channel strips, Brainworks, and some other companies as well have their plugins are already set up with a factory map. So what we do is click to load here. We can make any number of our plugins favorites if we want to use those all the time, but we can also open up our complete plugin library. And you can see here that there's a profile column along with our list of plugins. And where it says factory, that means that we've already got a factory map from SSL that's loaded here. So let's go ahead and choose this UAD SSLE channel strip with its factory map. And now when we load that plugin, it's going to open up and everything is pre-mapped. So I'm basically good to go. I'm controlling the UAD SSL channel strip. Now, if we want to be able to see the actual plugin that we're working on as opposed to just the representation from our control surface, we can open up configuration by clicking on the gear here. And now we can choose under global, automatically open the hosted plugin. And the next time we open this up, it'll not only open up the 360 Link plugin, but also the plugin that it's hosting, in this case, our UAD SSL 4000E channel strip. So now we'll be able to see that we're moving the control in the 360 Link window, and the same control will be moving inside our hosted plugin as well. So we have complete control over everything. It's all been mapped there. Switches are mapped. There's our bell switch, the different controls and different bands. We've got the compressor controls over here. Again, we can hit the different buttons and things, and it all maps exactly as you'd expect it to map. So you're good to go right out of the box. Now, we can also change those mappings if we want to make something different. So if we click the gear and our configuration window opens, here we can see all our parameters. So if we deselect a parameter, for example, compression ratio, we'll take that out. It's automatically going to switch us to a user profile at this point. And now we can assign that particular parameter to any control that we want. So let's go ahead and put it back where it was. But all we have to do is choose compression ratio, come up here, move the ratio knob, and it's automatically mapped. If we close this up, our ratio is going to move our ratio just as you'd expect. And again, it's happening in the 360 Link plugin. It's also happening in the hosted plugin. So it's very simple with a plugin that already has a profile, a factory profile set up from SSL. So let's take a look at how this works with a plugin that doesn't have a factory map, where we need to create user mappings for the parameters. So let's click to load here. And what I've been working on is Soothe 2. The window opens up because I have that selected in my configuration. We'll pull this over here. Now we can open this up again. We can see that actually I only have one parameter mapped at this point, and it's the depth control, which I have mapped to, looks like the gain control here. But we can map anything that we want. So let's say we want to map the attack. Let's go ahead and select that. I just select the parameter, and then I can move any control and it'll map automatically. Super simple. So if we want to do low cut balance and assign that here, we can do that. And again, you can see that it's moving inside the 360 Link plugin. You can also see that the name of the parameter changes inside here. So we've got low cut balance, we've got depth here, we've got attack up here. So it's very easy to know what you have mapped where. And as before, we can see it moving inside the plugin itself as well. And one more thing, there's actually a little indicator light that shows you the setting for the parameter on each of those controls, so you can instantly see which ones of the controls are mapped and which ones aren't. That's just a quick look at the 360 Link plugin, which is new in version 1.7 of the 360 system that encompasses all of the hardware and the software as well for this control surface ecosystem that SSL has created. But it's so powerful having access to all your plugins. Some of them are going to be mapped if you're using channel strip types things, which is very cool, but you can map any plugin and its parameters to the control surface and get very hands-on with your mixes. It's a great way to work. If you have questions about the 360 ecosystem, if you will, the UF8 control surface, the UF1 control surface, and the UC1 control surface, head over to sweetwater.com for full information, or better yet, contact your Sweetwater sales engineer to learn how these control surfaces and this software can be put to work in your studio to allow you to get hands-on with your mixes. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.